We all need a little motivation in our day, in our week, in our month, in our year, in our days. Sometimes we just need that little extra push. So today, I'm going to serve you an extra push, a little motivation from me to you. And this comes from a Toronto legend, Mr. Pinball Clemens. Stop what you're doing, pull the boogers out of your ears, and take this in.
What's the word? What's the word? But you gotta hit somebody in this game. That's why we've been dominant. Now when we go out there today, there's gonna be a bigger audience that's ever seen football in this entire country and history. This is the biggest crowd ever. Now we got a chance to do what we talked about. We talked about playing this game at a level that nobody in any league, anywhere has ever played this game. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Now, for those of you guys who are watching in Calgary today, they're watching in Calgary today, I want to call up to the game line. I've never seen anybody play the game like this. If I gotta fly from Calgary, I'll do it. What's the word? What's the word? Guys, let's go out there today as a family and get it done.
Fucking legend.
To the last. Who are we? Who are we? Win on three. 1, 2, 3.
Win, man. If that doesn't light a fire under your ass, go have a bath in Cayenne. Pinball Clemens, a Toronto legend. A Canadian legend at that. Big salute to you, Pinball Clemens. Let's go. Welcome to the Ben Stortini Show, where stories drift between worlds and forgotten moments find new life. Let's begin our journey. Let's go. And welcome back, everybody, to the Ben Stortini Show. I'm your host, of course, Mr. Ben Stortini. That's BENSTORTINI. And how are you today? If you're not motivated after that Pinball Clemens speech right there, like I said, go jump in a bath of Cayenne. And the reason I bring up cayenne is because I've been putting a lot of cayenne in my meals, a little black pepper on that just to warm up the insides, and it helps. And I suggest you should do it too. Before we get going, first I want to ask you, how are you? Let's get that out of the way first. How are you today? I'm sorry if you're not doing well, and I'm happy if you're doing well. So why don't we just mix those two together and put them in the sauce, the pasta sauce, and just make the sauce just one giant big pot of happiness. Let's go. There we go. I was having a bit of issues earlier. I started this show earlier, didn't have it, so I stepped away. It's kind of like being at the free throw line. You know, you miss your first free throw and you're like, you step away from the line and just then go back to the line with your head right. Here I am. So let's go. Speaking about getting your head right, I had my ears cleaned yesterday. Like legit went to a ear doctor place at Coxwell and Danforth, the hearing center. I forget what it's called, the hearing lab. Anyways, they went in, they showed the camera in my ears, and I saw all these like just monster comet, like just spaceships of earwax stuck in the back of my ear of just 45 years of just pounding them back there, right? So they went in with the machine or the thing and they pulled it out. And man, I'll tell you, I suggest to you, you have to go do this. Go do it. It was $57 per ear. I came out, it was almost like it was just this clarity of this cool air that was hitting the inside of my ear for the first time. It was amazing. And if you hear my voice, actually, my voice seems a little bit hoarse. That's because there's something going through my house right now. Luna has it. I have it now. I just hope this disappears by the time we leave for St. Martin, which is May 9th. So I am hoping this disappears quick and fast. Fast as Pinball Clemens. So the name of this episode is Something's Missing. The reason I call this one Something's Missing is because of this. I'm going to ask you first. Most of the people that listen to this show, they know me, most people, probably around the same age. Have you gotten to this age and you just kind of like, there's always been in the back of your head that there's something missing? I'm asking you, do you have that feeling? Because I have that feeling. I just feel like there's something missing, something bigger that's missing. And I keep filling in those dresser drawers of myself, you know, with fitness, with food, with health, with family, with this and that. But there's always been this thing. And I mentioned it in the last episode. By the way, big salute, Mark Winters. Thank you for that episode. Had a genius on the show. He was a lot of fun. Good vibes. There was a bit of a mention in that episode about religion. Now, this isn't just about religion. I'm not saying is there something missing? Is it religion? Is it God in my life? When I was really young, when I was a kid, first of all, my grandfather on my Italian side, very religious, but he didn't push it on people. So he would go to church every Sunday, Roman Catholic Church, this little small little place in Hilton Beach. Like I said, there's Richards Landing and there's Hilton Beach on the island. Hilton Beach, 25 minutes away from Richards Landing. It's actually where my mom and my dad got married. I went with them a few times, and I just remember, like, if I were to jog back my memory of that church, it was very small, and there was an organ up in the left corner, and there was always this lady, and she wasn't that great at playing the organ. I don't know if they felt sorry for her. I don't know what the deal was with her. Like, she wasn't great. She was about 62% good at the church organ. But she'd keep pace, she'd kind of keep speed, and people would like trip over her a little bit when they're singing. But anyways, it was community. And that's the one thing I saw off the jump with church. To me, it was a gathering of people, a community setting of like-minded individuals who are kind of looking to inject themselves with positivity. You know, people looking up to God, to this form, Jesus Christ. You know, he has his own book, the Bible. You know what I mean? The whole story. And everybody sings about him. Everybody believes in him, and everybody believes in this higher power that he's going to give you, that he's going to get you through your day. Whatever happens, he's got your back. He's working in mysterious ways. You know, even though you got sick, you know, he's testing you. You know, it's all this. There's always an answer for whatever happens in your life. It's in the Bible, right? But when you're a kid and you're looking for an idol, and you don't even know that that's what you're doing, you're just sponging off of everything around you. So yes, like I said, I went to church a few times with my grandpa, and it didn't really hit me, the religious end of it. Like I said, I just saw it as a community thing, which I thought was great. I did get a positive feeling, obviously, coming out of there, but I didn't really want to go. So where do you go as a kid? You end up, if you had parents that were really religious and they brought you to church every Sunday, you probably end up sort of not indoctrinated, but sort of the seed was in you that, you know, if that's the train that you went on, then yeah, God's my idol, right? Then I look up to him. Well, I didn't have that. So who was I looking up to? I was looking up to entertainers. You know, when I was living with my grandpa, I just remember that room. I had the room at the top of the house, man, the same room that if anybody in the family, like I've mentioned before, if anybody in the family needed a bit of a reset, they could come to grandpa's and they could stay there for a while. And that was this room. It was right by the bathroom. So you'd go up the stairs, old ass house, old farmhouse, go to the very top, go to the end of the hallway, and that's the bedroom right beside the bathroom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, 5. I was in the one right beside the bathroom. And I just remember combing through my CDs in that room, you know, looking up to Snoop, Master P, you know, guys like that, because it was just so far beyond what I had on St. Joseph Island. It was nothing like that on the island. And they were talking about things I've never heard about. You know, it just seemed so different and so just completely a parallel universe to what I was living in. And I loved it, and I wanted more and more of it. And I'd have all my Source magazines in the room. I would just drift into this other world of that. That's who I was looking up to. That's who my idols were. Literally, I would take these old pictures, like, I think I've mentioned it before, but really expensive paintings in this room, and I would take the picture out and I would put in pictures from my Source magazine, so it'd be like framed Snoop and Mac 10 and Master P pictures all in my room. I had the entire border of my entire room near the top with no limit advertisements for every album. It was just like the border, it was wild. So my room was just this weird time machine of that era, right? But those were my idols. That was who I was looking up to. That's what was kind of molding me, on top of what my family was doing, what my grandparents were doing. You know, that was helping me. That was shaping me, and I was getting guidance through that. But as time goes on, religion just kept kind of popping up here and there. And that's why I call this something's missing. Is it religion? I don't know. Every time I've been in my most desperate situations in my life, I really need some help here. I just wish with everything in my soul that I cannot lose this person, or because of a stupid mistake that I made or stupid decision that I made, I cannot have this fuck my life up. Life pauses in that moment. There's something else going on. That's what I want to talk about. And it's hard to explain it, but I hope you understand. In those moments, everything seems to just stop, and I sit there and I guess that's praying, because in all of those moments, like I said, in all my most desperate moments in my life, I've prayed, and I'm not a religious person. Why am I praying? That's question one. And two, every single time I've done that, the outcome that I was praying for happened. The positive of it happened, which is wild. And then I've mentioned all those times where, my Oma came to me in my dream when she passed. My grandfather came to me right before he passed. My point is there's something else going on, and I don't know what it is. And I want the answer to that, because I want more of that. I want a piece of that. That's what I feel like is missing. I don't know. And it doesn't help that I'm reading this book, Dark Matter, right now, which is all about parallel universes and quantum multiverse. That's what it's about. It's about the quantum multiverse. So the decisions you've made, like when I left for the UK and then I decided I had to come home. Well, in this quantum multiverse, I'm still over there in another parallel, still living my life over there because I made the decision to stay. So that's also happening with me talking to this podcast right now here in Toronto. There's different lives being run by the same me. That's what this book is about. And that just kind of flipped the script, right? Religion. That's what I keep going back to. Is that religion? Is that a higher power? What is going on? Like, I grew up, like I said, on the island, and there was this one family. So I always mostly hung out with this. They were 2 years younger than me, Levi and Phil, as you know. I've mentioned them before, playing basketball, swimming, hanging out every day in the summer, hanging out this and that. And Levi's family was very, very religious, very religious. And every time I would go over there, that would come up. Somehow, some way it would come up. And it got to the point, it was right before I left for college, that they sent me home with books. Like these, they were like born again Christian books. So this wasn't like Catholic stuff. This was different stuff, right? Baptist, I don't know what it's called. I just never took it seriously, right? So they were trying to get me into the religion with that. And then it just seemed that all the time somebody's stopping me, talking to me on the street just randomly about, you're going to let God in. And then there's these stickers all over the place when I'm running of basketball players. Like, I don't know if you've seen, who's that basketball player that, Jaden Ivey. There's these stickers all over the place by Tommy Thompson when you have to cross the highway there. By Eastern, by the Loblaws, it's like Jesus is coming, and it's Jaden Ivey. I wouldn't have ever looked, but because it's a basketball player, they put that. So it's just like these weird things that keep happening that are around religion. Like, I remember my grandfather sent a priest to our house when we were in that guest house. For some reason, he sent, like, my mom was going through a lot. Like I said, she was struggling. Things were tough. She was getting the assistance. We went through the divorce. She's just scraping by. And I don't know if my grandpa sent the priest to try to, like, maybe something's missing, right? Something's missing. Maybe that will fill the hole and inject some positivity and some belief in yourself. I don't know. But this priest was there, and I remember thinking it was super creepy. I didn't quite understand why you're in my house right now. I wasn't cool with it. I remember that. I didn't like the vibe, and he left shortly thereafter. But I don't know, man, like the power of it. I remember, like I've said, I used to, whenever I was at my Oma and my Opa's, every time I go to sleep, I do the Lord's Prayer with my Oma. We would say that together. And any time that when I called out for it, it gave me a feeling of positivity, and that positive outcome would always happen. Now, is that God, or is that something else? Or is that just me resetting myself for that moment and giving myself to a feeling in my own mind of a higher power, therefore things are going to be okay? That's like me convincing myself everything's going to be okay because of this. And is that just mind trickery? I don't know. That's my point of this. So I want to find out what that is. I always just looked at it like it was just, people getting fooled by the book so that the world can keep order in society, and people can, the world can keep everybody following a set of rules, being good human beings and this and that, and can keep a very mass populace of people checked. That's how I've always looked at religion. But then it's like, well, everybody wants to be happy. We're all working to be happy. But why is it that I just feel like there's this hole in me that wants that just final dose of happiness? Sometimes I'm not great at explaining myself, and that's why I'm reading a lot more so that maybe my vocabulary can step up a notch. So it's kind of hard for me to explain something so serious right now. I want to find that fulfillment. And a lot of people say that that final fulfillment in someone's life is finding God. And I don't know if that's what it is. And that's why I want to have this conversation right now with you and myself. And I'd love to find the answer, because I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what it is. I sat there looking up to rappers, looking up to basketball players, looking up to my grandpa over the years, right? Over the years, it's always somebody I'm looking up to, whether it's entertainer, whether it's family. I flip that as I get older, and I then want to be who my kids can look up to. The strength, the pillar, the healthy, the lion, the stand tall, head up, shoulders, just no worries, I got you. No one will ever hurt you. Strength. So that they can look up to me in a way that they feel comfortable and they feel happy that, okay, I'm okay. But I know that when they get older, they're going to feel like there's something else, because there is something else. There's something else going on. And I don't know what it is. Yeah, how do I end that, man? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to challenge myself. Either I'm going to do one of two things. Either I'm going to read the Bible, just read it like it's a book. I'm just going to take it in and see what happens. See how I feel after I read it. Or two, I'm just going to be more open to it. Just more open to why not pray more. Maybe pray once a week. Because every time, like I said, every time that I've prayed, a positive has come out of it. But those were in my most desperate situations. I've never sat there and prayed and just said and be thankful for where I'm at. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is just me praying. Like, I don't know what that is, right? I don't know what that is. Is it just letting stuff out? Is that what praying is? And then hoping something comes back from that, from you letting it out? Then this whole podcast is that for me. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to just call it praying, but I'm just going to send out good vibes to my friends, to my family, my friends, my family, and myself, that I just stay healthy and just, and that's the vibe. Not just every time that I need you because I fucked up. I made a bad decision. I need your help right now, man. I promise I'll never do that again. That moment. I don't want it just to be that moment. So, yeah, this may have just been all super confusing and word salad, but it's basically just me throwing out a question out there. It's like a boomerang question. I'm going to throw it out there and then see when it comes back, and I'll catch it. See what the writing is on the wall. And I don't want this to come across as disrespectful at all to anybody who is a very religious person. I think there's nothing wrong with following a book of rules and guidelines to how to live your life in a positive way. And I don't see anything wrong with that. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. I just want to find out what it is. Part of my life's journey now from moving forward. Like, what is that? And find out what that is. Get that final brick put into my house, so to speak. Speaking of bricks, I am a brick house right now. Let's jump into health. I didn't mention the weigh-in check with the 8-week cut last episode with Mark Winters, but I had checked last week and I went and dipped back down to 186.6. And it's funny too, because I kept going. That was the lowest I'd been before, was 186.6. to the dot again, 186.6. So that's where I'm at. I have 2 more weeks left. Well, once this week is done, then the next week I'm off on the trip to St. Martin. My goal was 183, 184 pounds. It's probably where I'm going to end up. See how my weigh-in goes tomorrow. I'm a little bit sick right now, so I don't know if that's going to affect it, if I'm going to be holding water, whatever. I don't care. Either way, I feel good. I'm strong. And it's funny, too. You talk about a higher power. This is good. Talking about health and winning. You know, pinball Clemens at the start, right? You know when you have a dream, this is a bit of off topic a little bit, but you know when you have a dream, this is me, man. Whenever I have a dream and it's about basketball, and this was me growing up, whenever I got on a court with some ball players and I was playing ball, and I can hoop. I'm a good basketball player. But every time I would have a dream about me playing basketball, I lose all ability to know how to play. It's the strangest thing. Like I can't shoot. I lose all ability. It's almost like I'm deaf and blind to the game in my dreams, right? So it's always been that way with anything competitive in my dreams. I just lose the ability, especially basketball. I can't do it, but I know I can. Frustrating. I had a dream last night that I was in this race in a mountain. So it was almost like I don't know where the hell this was, but it was, all I can see, it's kind of like a desert mountain area, sort of. So there was no snow, but there was massive hills. Anyways, I was in a race and I won this race. Like I fucking smoked it. And I'm at my age. So I wasn't younger. I was at my age. And I just smoked this race and I won it. And it was such a great feeling. I've never had a dream like that before. It was so vivid and so like I was there, and I loved the fact that I didn't lose the ability to succeed and win in my dream, when before all those years having those dreams, I couldn't do it and I wouldn't win in my dream and this and that. This is the first time ever I've had a dream like that. Not only did I not lose my ability to run fast, but I won. And it was such a great feeling. I woke up and it was such a good dream that I told my kids about it. I told my wife about it. And when I told Stello about it, he goes, "Oh, you know what, Daddy?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I had the same dream last night." If he did, that's what I'm talking about. Something's missing here, man, because... And I want to get something off my chest. I feel horrible about this. I really do. I feel terrible about this because I look at it now, I'm like, bad dad move. But so Stello came home from daycare yesterday and we bought him these. They're like Van slip-ons, but these are Spider-Man shoes, but they're like Van slip-ons, right? Loves them. But I guess yesterday he pissed himself hard. He pissed all over his pants, and I guess he peed all over his shoes, right? So when he came home, his shoes were in these plastic bags that they sent him home with, soaked in piss, right? I was like, well, Stello, you really good, because we're working on that, right? He pees himself here and there. But like, we really got to work on this, Stello, because, you don't pee on your shoes. Now we have to get you new shoes. And I just said, look, and I grabbed his shoes. I go, look, we have to put these in the garbage. And he loves these shoes. I said, look, we have to put these shoes in the garbage now. And I put them in the garbage and I shut the garbage door. And I don't know if that was a good move. He got super upset, and Sharon had to console him. Like, I feel bad for that, but at the same time, he made jokes about it today. He's like, "We're gonna get new Spider-Man shoes." yes, we are, Stello. We had to throw those out, right? And then I kind of flipped it. I'm like, "I hope I don't pee on my shoes tonight, Stello." And he's like, "Yeah, if you do, I'm gonna have to throw them out." I'm like, "You're right. We're gonna have to throw them out." So, he gets it. I get it. But I did feel bad about that. I did feel bad about it. You never know when I get older, I'll be pissing myself, and he's going to do that right back to me. He's like, "Hey, Dad, remember that time?" I went off track there. Health. Yes, health is good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. Like I said, I'm a little bit sick right now, but sticking to my guns with this cut. The only thing I actually did change is I took out the green beans and put in asparagus and less oil, less salt, and cayenne and black pepper. So those are the things I've added and took away, because the green beans, they hold more water. The asparagus doesn't. So the asparagus has been added to my meals, and we will see. Weigh in tomorrow. On that note, let's go switch some worlds, all right? You heard me. I want to give a shout out to my friend Cal, my really good friend Cal. I spoke to him yesterday, and he's going through some things, man. And he opened up to me and he let me know what was going on, and man, I love you, dude. And like I said, the universe rolls in weird ways. You just gotta pick yourself up, stand tall, keep your head up, smile, look people in the eyes. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna work out, man. Like I said, call me anytime. So I kind of go along with the whole vibe of this episode. Something's missing, man. I gotta talk to my friends more. I gotta see my friends more. But yeah, Cal, this is for you, buddy. When I get back from my trip, I'm coming out to see you, alright? This beat you hear right here, this is from that Narvical album that I made back in the day. It's called Wake Up, Gideon. It was the outro to the album. It's a vibe. And welcome back, everybody. And this is the Stortini verse. And this time around, I'm not going to explain it. So this week's music, I got 2 pieces of tunes for you. And to kind of go along with the whole in my grandpa's bedroom that I lived in and that I was in, it was my portal of music, and talking about my idols and the people I was looking up to. Well, here's a couple of tunes from that era I want to play for you. The first one is this. Master P, dude. And like I said, I had pictures all over my room of this dude. I looked up to this dude, and I still do. A real hustler. And it's funny too, because he ended up finding religion in the end. He ended up finding church and faith, after going through what he all went through in his life. I'm going to bring it back to some of the music I used to listen to of Master P right here. And this tune right here is called Break 'Em Off Something. I had that CD right here. Hustler, baller, gangster, cap killer, your neighborhood drug dealer. Bout it. They get rowdy. Hate us. Made us. But not a ball. On the wall. No. Nothing but a hobby. 187 robbery. Plucked. Chamber. Wranglers. Like DJ Screw. Fuck you and your boo. New Orleans. B12. To hell. The world. On your girl. Oh. Break your mouth, son. In high school, you have a co-op. First, I went to MCTV in Sault Ste. Marie, and they just had me logging tapes, right? I'm like, I don't like this shit. Put me somewhere else. At the time, Sault Ste. Marie as a city was doing this thing called Sioux Homecoming. So they had this event they were going to pull off in the summer of everybody who used to live in the Sioux, who moved out. We're going to have a homecoming of the city, and people are going to come back, and they called it Sioux Homecoming. So it was this huge event they were planning, and I got in with my co-op in there, but I didn't do anything with them, man. They literally just sat me in the corner, but I had a computer, and this was at the time when I had, Silk the Shocker, I had Master P, I had this album right here, and all I did was listen to my Discman and write music to this shit. But I wrote it all on that computer that they gave me at Sioux Homecoming, and I would print the papers and bring them home, but I never deleted these lyrics off of that computer. So I'm talking a novel of songs. The craziest shit, right? They probably read it after I left. They're like, wow, here we go. Look at this. I was writing to that right there, to this Master P album. But big shout out Master P, Percy Miller. My first car I ever had, I called her Percy. I mean, I had a tank. I wore a tank. I got it from Michigan. Let's move on to the next tune. And the next tune I got right here, this is MJG. And for you that don't know, there's 8 Ball in MJG, but MJG had a record called No More Glory, and this was about, let me think, it was 97, 98 era, I'm not quite sure, but this tune right here is a monster. Give it to me good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. Give it to me good like your friend did, doing it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. MJG. Small race. Girl, you're number one in the race. The rest takes, baby. First of all, you look at me close. Searching for line. Thinking you can get in my mind. Thinking that I'm a lightweight. Let's fly straight in one way. Play it down over the world in one day. P-I-N-G. Both of us grown. No need to pretend we ain't prepared for the house with the marble floor. 3 staircase with the antique doors. All day valet. Hit the place your ride. I can see the video in my head. Just in case you tired. Amazon. Let's have a marathon in the bedroom style. 6'3" women need leg room. I know what to do if you know how to act. And say it to yourself, baby. Don't hold back. Don't hold back, baby. Throw it, don't run it. Give it to me good. Like your friend, girl. Just run it. Straight down the center like a sprinter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. Big shout out MJG. Big shout out to that album, No More Glory. Shout out to 8 Ball as well. Classic. Go look them up. MJG. Alright, so that's the music for this week for the Stortini verse. Let's jump into the documentary of the book. And I mentioned it earlier. The book I am reading right now is called Dark Matter, and it has melted my brain. Completely melted my brain. This shit, I'm almost done it already. I only had it for like 4 days. Basically, like I said, it's about the multiverse, the quantum multiverse. So I explained it earlier. There's a bunch of Bens out here living a different life because of the decisions I made. So it's not a 3D universe. It's 4D. I can't see, like, it's just every time I put that book down, I go to sleep and I'm pretty sure I put my head on the pillow and this is the face I'm making. Just contemplating everything. So I suggest to you, look it up. It's called Dark Matter. I guess there was a show on Apple TV of this. I don't want to watch it because usually they don't make them as good as the book. So Dark Matter, go to your local library, put it on hold, and read it. My challenge for this week, my challenge. What are we going to do? You know what? That's what we're going to do for a challenge. I want you to read more. I want you to go get a library card. If you don't have a library, if you don't read, go to the library and get a library card. You just have to give them your name and your address. It's real easy. And I want you to go find a book and just let that garden grow, because, you know, my lady got me back into reading and I am hooked. I'm hooked like a dope fiend to that yayo. I'm hooked like that, like BG to that needle. Go to the library. That's my challenge. Go to the library this weekend. Get a library card if you don't have one, and get a book and start reading if you don't. All right, so we're going to end this off. We're going to go into your weekend right here. I want to add something into the show. So this is what we're going to do. I bought this CD drive. Let me show you. Well, I don't have to show you, but it's literally just a CD drive, USB, that I can hook up, because they don't put CD drives in computers anymore, right? And I bought that thing for like $25 off Amazon, and literally have digitized all my old music. That's what you heard at the shout out, the Switch Worlds. Don't even know my own show. That beat I made, like I said, and so that's all because I'm digitizing all my old music. So what I'm going to do, fuck it, I am going to play once an episode, maybe, an old tune of mine that I think you'd enjoy, only if it kind of goes along with the whole episode. And you know what? this one right here goes along with the episode. So this song I am going to play for you today is from the Narlical album, which that Switch Worlds beat you heard was from the same album. As you can see, this is the album cover. My friend Sean Meck from North Bay did this up. This is before you could just ask AI to do whatever. He literally drew this. That's my face in the sun. And the tune that I picked from the Narlical album is called 20 After the Hour, featuring my old friend Cinema Moon. And a quick story behind this. This was right at the end of me finishing this album. Mamoon was in Saudi Arabia at the time. He's from Sudan. And he came back to Toronto and his mom just passed away. And he came over to our house to come hang out, just to kind of, be with some friends, I guess. And I was just finishing this song up. So I said, why don't you jump on this song, man? I could tell he was real sad and he was real down. I said, just let it out about your mom. And this is what came out. So I hope you enjoy it. Take a listen to this. It's called 20 After the Hour. That's my moon singing right there. Trying to do my Aphex Twin thing. Trying to just get real experimental with the beat. I think it kind of goes along with the whole vibe of the show.
Run down tired, way too much partying, laying in my bed, talking in my sleep again, waking up, staring at my clock, 20 after the hour. Why is it I always seem to see this endeavor? I'd be clever to say it's a time of fate, but I'm not into that Miss Cleo fantasy type. For me it must be scientific. I don't believe in ghosts, I believe in mine. Playing jokes, croaker shrinks, dollar per hour, psycho doctor type folks.
And this is right before I moved to the UK. So 2006.
With a rehab admission, your parents paid it, wanting answers of why. They say we brought her up so well. The problem is daddy and mommy, even before she was born, loved to party, loved to drink and pass out drunk in hotel lobbies. Funny thing is, when the daughter listens to R. Kelly singing about just this, she cries. She opens her teary eyes and looks at the clock. It's 20 after the hour, and her tears stop. Lame, and everyone has asked that same question since the birth of time. I'm not a big religious man, because the development of humans from animals really makes sense. There is a cure for AIDS, there is a cure for cancer, but the pharmaceutical companies never answer. Genocides, famine, they happen while we watch a giant karaoke contest sending votes in.
Sleep. Every time I wake up, it's the same thing. Got war going here in our country, how do we deal with it? When are we actually going to change? It's getting real old now. We need to start thinking about us. Take this world back. Before government takes over from us. There and a half. 2011.
Back in the days, my mother used to sing that song at the beginning of the song to me. Used to always make me forget about all the problems in the world. No matter how sad I felt, how terrible I feel, it always put me to sleep, making me forget all about the issues in the world. I miss you, Mama. Salam.
It was 20 after the hour with Cinema Moon. That's what I'm talking about. Time machine, man. That's a time machine. So on that note, I'm going to try to do that maybe every episode, where if I find a tune, an old tune of mine that kind of goes along with the vibe of the episode, I will play it for you. Now we're going to end it. You're going to go into your weekend. Hopefully the Raptors can do their thing. I know this comes out a week later, so by the time you hear this, the series with Cleveland will be over, so hopefully they won. So go into your weekend this weekend, like I always say, smell good, feel fresh, you know what I mean? Brush your teeth, make sure your teeth are clean, that's one thing, and floss, please floss. Saw somebody at the gym the other day, they opened their mouth, and they hadn't probably flossed for 25 years, and there was a piece of beef stuck right here, right there. It was like a piece of beef from maybe 25 years ago, and that shit was just waving at me. And I mean, you could still see the mustard on it, and the sauce on it. You really gotta just floss your teeth, man, because that shit's nasty. It gives you bad breath, and it's just a bad vibe. You know what I mean? You need to go to the church of a dentist. You need to go to the dentist, really. You got summer teeth. Some are here, some are there. You ever heard that one? Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Oh, I love you. Almost forgot. Thanks for taking the time to jump in the portal with me. But do me one favor, alright? Hit subscribe on Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and leave a 5-star review so the algorithm kisses this pod and sends it out to the streets looking good. Have a great weekend, and please don't ever forget. This guy right here loves you.